In the coldest game in Ravens history, with their backs against the wall, they shut the Bengals out and eliminate them from playoff contention. Defense was dominant today. 2 interceptions, one from Marlon Humphrey, one from Kyle Van Noy, who handed it off Ed Reed style to Alohi Gilman for the pick 6. We got sacks from Travis Jones, Mike Green, Tavius Robinson, Draymond Jones consistently bringing pressure. Lamar Jackson took over this game in the second quarter, got the Ravens out to a lead. Derrick Henry, Keaton Mitchell in the run game got going in the second half to finish this off. Complete game by the Ravens today, who are now 7-7 and still control their own destiny in the AFC North. Let's dive into the details of this game and celebrate this win in this post-game episode of the Flock Rundown.
Ravens Flock. The Flock Rundown is the place to be.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.
What's up, Ravens fans? My name is Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of the Flock Rundown. It feels amazing to celebrate a win, especially in that fashion, man. Backs against the wall, and you go out there and win 24-0. And let's start with that 0. This defense pitched a shutout against Joe Burrow and the Bengals, and this is the first shutout loss Joe Burrow has ever had in the NFL. His last shutout loss was in college at LSU on November 3rd, 2018 versus number 1 Alabama. He lost 29-0, and today he loses 24-0. I thought Zach Orr called an incredible game. We'll start with that. I mean, anytime you pitch a shutout, you got to give a lot of credit to the defensive coordinator. Also, the players, obviously, they were able to generate pressure today. Travis Jones was dominant today. He got a sack. He was stuffing runs. Mike Green got a sack. Tavius Robinson, what a return for him. He got a sack in this one early that ended a drive. Draymond Jones was a menace out there today. He was consistently getting pressure. I thought the Ravens D-line and pass rush unit did an incredible job today. They really got pressure on Burrow. They stopped the run, and then coverage downfield was solid as well. I mean, Burrow was trying to go to Chase a lot. Chase ended up having a good game in this one, but he gets a lot of targets. You know, he is the offense. I like that strategy from the Ravens defense, though. Like, all right, if Chase is going to get his, make it difficult and make sure we tackle. And we did a good job tackling today. There wasn't a lot of run after the catch, and these were not easy conditions, which I do think benefits the defense. And shout out to Roquan Smith today, too. 14 tackles, 8 solo. Trenton Simpson, 9 tackles, 4 solo. Teddy Buchanan suffered a knee injury and was carted off earlier in this game, so other linebackers had to step up in this one, praying for a speedy recovery from Teddy Buchanan. We don't have official word, but all sources are saying it is most likely a torn ACL, so just praying for a speedy recovery for him. But way to step up from the rest of this defense, and the other linebackers that had to fill in too did a great job stopping the run, running to the ball. Nate Wiggins had 8 tackles in this one and a pass deflection. Kyle Hamilton, 8 tackles. He was getting good pressure. Malachi Starks, 5 tackles in this one and a pass deflection. He was also dominant on special teams. Travis Jones, 4 tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, 1 QB hit. And we were able to force some turnovers. Marlon Humphrey got an early interception. I know that was mainly from a high ball from Joe Burrow, and then Chase dropped it, landed in the lap of Marlon Humphrey, but way to be there, way to catch the ball and get a little return on that one as well. And then later in the game, Tavius Robinson putting pressure up the middle. Joe Burrow just kind of chucks one up. Kyle Van Noy standing there, catches it, is running down the sideline, and does an Ed Reed handoff to Alohi Gilman, who takes it to the house for a pick 6 and basically ended the game at that point. I just can't say enough about this defensive performance today. To pitch a shutout against the Bengals, and I know they didn't have much of a chance in the playoffs, but this same team just put up a decent amount of points on us at home in primetime, and they have weapons, you know, and Joe Burrow is one of the top QBs in the game, and the Ravens go into Cincinnati in a brutally cold game and pitch a shutout. That is incredible, man. Shout out to Zach Orr. Shout out to this entire defense. This is probably the most complete game the Ravens have played all season in all 3 phases. Obviously, we just talked about how good the defense was doing. Special teams as well, though. Clean game, not easy conditions, man. Tyler Loop did a great job today. Wester was smart on punt return today. I thought the tackling on the kickoff coverage and punt coverage was great. Charlie Kohler had 3 tackles on special teams. Malachi Starks was involved. I just thought it was a complete effort. And the Ravens offense came to life in this one, especially after another slow start. After that first quarter, I was not feeling this way, but I thought they played a great game from then on out. And we had that early interception, which is Zay Flowers' fault. I mean, he dropped the ball. That was right after Chase dropped one and Marlon Humphrey got it. That same drive, the Ravens are going down the field. Zay drops it and gets a pick. But other than that, I thought Lamar Jackson was dialed today, especially in in those conditions, man, I did not think that this was going to be the game that our offense would have a lot of success, and it was. You know, they didn't put up a ton of points, but they didn't have to in this one. They got out to a lead and held on to the ball. They didn't make mistakes. They got the run game going late. And Lamar Jackson really got this offense going in the second quarter. It started with that no-look pass to DeAndre Hopkins that got down the field. Lamar had a nice run, and then he ends up changing the play on an all-out blitz and gets Ali open for a screen pass against the blitz for a 32-yard touchdown. Great play adjustment pre-snap. And then they get the ball back at the end of the half and go 2-minute. Lamar Jackson hits Zay Flowers on a really tough catch. Way to find the ball, Zay, and take the hit there. Lamar had another nice run for a first down. He then finds Andrews downfield and then finds Zay in the back of the end zone on an incredibly thrown ball, man. I thought Lamar Jackson really flipped this game around in the second quarter with those 2 touchdown drives. And then in the second half, the Ravens got the run game going. Derrick Henry came to life, had 3 or 4 20-plus yard runs. I thought we could have fed him a little bit more in the second half. Keaton Mitchell was breaking off some nice runs. This run game came to life, and with how the defense was playing, it almost felt like the Bengals were quitting at that point. And I was just like, man, just pound the rock. Like, we don't even need to pass at this point. You have a 3-possession lead, and Henry's busting off 20-yard runs. That is a perfect scenario that you want. You know, that is exactly where you want to be in every single game. And the Ravens offense held on to the ball, most importantly, in that second half. Didn't allow the Bengals to get back in the game, and the defense just played out of their minds, man. So it was a complete game from all phases from the Ravens today, and they needed it. Lamar finishes 8 for 12 for 150 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, had 114.6 passer rating. He was sacked 4 times. Not a ton of completions in this one. Didn't have to. Efficient. And those incompletions were mainly drops. I thought Lamar played an incredible game today. On the ground, Derrick Henry finished with 11 carries for 100 yards. Keaton Mitchell, 8 for 66. Lamar Jackson, 2 for 26. Zay Flowers led the way in receiving today, 3 for 68 and a touchdown. He had 5 targets. The other 2 were drops. Rasheen Ali, 2 catches for 32 yards and a touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, 1 catch for 32 yards. Mark Andrews, 2 for 18, and that's it. Not a high volume day from the offense, not a big stat day from the offense, but you won 24-0. That's fine. You know, you did what you were supposed to do, and the offense jumped out to a 2-score lead in that second quarter. So the fact that they were getting points on the board quickly in that second quarter to take a multiple score lead really changes the rest of the game. You know, you can play differently at that point. If you are trailing like we have been in most of the games this season, you have to play differently. You have to play from behind. You start thinking differently and play calling differently. And this is just a really strong performance from the Ravens today in all phases: coaching, playing, execution, everything, man. Outside of a few drops, and it's hard to be that hard on people when it's that cold too. This is the coldest game in Ravens history. We can't forget that. There definitely were some few drops that I know guys would like back, like Zay Flowers, but he also showed up and caught a touchdown, had some nice tough catches too. I just think the offense, defense, special teams played their best game today, and they had to, man. They had to. This was a must-win game. Backs were against the wall. You're pretty much done if you go to 6-8, and then you need help from Pittsburgh. At this point, the Ravens still control their own destiny. Yes, 7-7 is not where you want to be this late in the season, but if you win your next 3, and I know that's not easy, Patriots, Packers, Steelers, but if you win your next 3, you win the AFC North, you're in the playoffs, and you're rolling in with momentum, because if the Ravens continue to play like they just did in this game, watch out, man. Awesome win today against a division opponent. Feels good to get back in the win column. Feels good to eliminate the Bengals and still control your own destiny. Everything's right in front of the Ravens. So let me know what you guys are thinking about everything in this game and moving forward. Appreciate you guys, as always, for tuning in to another episode of the Flock Rundown. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll let the greatest linebacker in the history of the game take us out.
Ravens flock. The flock rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. So I'm telling you now, it's about to go down. Podcast, the Flock Rundown. Ravens, baby. Nothing gets better than waking up and wondering how high we can fly. Tune in.